My name is Paul Berman. I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma type 2BX. So when I first heard about it, I was actually sitting in my car. I was on the phone with my doctor after some test results had come back, and she said, "You may have cancer." And no one in my family had cancer ever, but I had to just trust my doctors and hope that they knew what they were doing and they knew that this was what was best for me. So there was a few aspects during treatment in terms of just getting better. So from a dietary perspective, I wasn't allowed to have any kind of fatty foods, fatty anything, because apparently the tumor feeds off of the fat in your diet. So for the first, I'd say, month and a half after my diagnosis, I was on incredibly low fat, no fat to low fat diets, where my fat intake would have to be limited to less than 10 grams a day. Hygiene ended up playing a big part in getting better because your immune system ends up being really weakened by the chemo, obviously, and you are very prone to getting sick at this point. At one point I did get bitten by my puppy at the time, and it got infected somehow, and unfortunately it was in the same arm as my PICC line for the chemo. And unfortunately, at first I thought nothing of it, but then the finger started swelling a little bit. I had to go into the oncologist's office, and they realized that, yeah, it's really badly infected, and because it's the same arm, we don't want to take any chances. You should go on an antibiotic right away. And so it was a good thing I went in. But it's such little things like that you normally wouldn't think are such a big deal. Oh, I got a cut, big deal. It starts hitting you how delicately you have to really live at that point. It's like you're walking the tightrope of life, and your if you fall off, your immune system's dead. Like, you know, what are you gonna do? Just before I was discharged from the hospital, prior to my chemo treatment, I was introduced to this organization at the time called I2I. I'm too young for this, but is now commonly known as Stupid Cancer. I was never down on myself. Why did this have to happen to me? You know, what's that going to get me? It's not really going to help me through it. It's not, you know, lamenting over the fact that I'm 26 at the time and got diagnosed with cancer isn't really going to make it any better. So just have to take the cards that were dealt and get through it. And hopefully the positive attitude helped with the convalescence. But